What is it?
Forgive me, Outlander, but I have enough to deal with. I'm just a simple tribunal priest, and the trouble at the ancestral tomb was too much for even our buoyant armiger to deal with. I have failed Lord Vivec, and left a colleague alone at the tomb. Lord Vivec sent the three of us to seek guidance at the Andreneau ancestral tomb. We were attacked when we got there, and our guard was seriously hurt. I barely got her to safety, but we failed to complete the mission Lord Vivec bestowed upon us. Canon Levoul. He remained behind after we retreated from the tomb. I know he wants to get back inside and ask Lord Vivec's questions, but there's no way he can get past the Daedra, or ask the questions on his own. May the three grant him wisdom.
Taliesin, what's wrong? Someone help!
By the three! First a wounded armiger, now this!
By dawn and dusk, evil creeps through the shadows of my beloved Vardenfell. But an outlander arrives to aid my people, just as I have foreseen.
Those words, what do they mean?
What happened?
Merciful Azura, the Mother Soul spoke through you. It's a miracle!
Lord Vivec, protect me!
take Lord Vivec down. Those monsters, it's too dangerous. What am I going to do? Did Canon Valasar send you? Oh, she did, didn't she? That means she made it to Saint Denis. Vivec be praised. Will you help me complete my mission? It would be sacrilege if I don't enter my family's tomb and make Lord Vivec's inquiries. As the saints declare, the tribunal always provides. We'll need to be cautious, however. Daedra invaded the tomb. Makes it hard to talk to one's ancestors while monsters try to eat you. I'll also need your help when we reach the summoning chamber. Take this scroll with Lord Vivec's inquiries, while I summon forth my ancestor spirit and concentrate on maintaining the connection. You must ask the questions. He insists we use the exact phrasing. We can go inside when you're ready. We're really going to do this. I wish I knew how Daedra got into my family tomb, but I'm sure you can handle them. At least you know they're there. They ambushed poor Armiger Urnsi. Took her completely by surprise. Follow me. I'll open the door. Follow me, but keep an eye out for those Daedra. Careful! The creatures attacked as soon as we entered the Hall of Remembrance. This used to be such a peaceful place. I came here as a young acolyte. We're nearly there. Then we can summon my ancestor. The summoning chamber. I'll call forth my ancestor, then you can ask Vivek's questions.
Hasn't my rest been disturbed enough by those filthy Daedra? Why do you summon me, descendant?
My Lord Vivek has inquiries that only you can answer, my lady. My companion will present them with your permission.
The warrior poet? Very well. Ask Vivek's questions. Ask the warrior poet's questions, Outlander. Ah, Lord Vivek always had a way with words. Tell him to rest assured. The heart remains safe. I wonder why that concerns him. Ask the remaining questions, as my time here is short. An enemy of old, yes, but not the one that Vivek presumes. Sotha Sil imagined multiple scenarios and contemplated endless solutions. He even experimented with his divinity, drawing energy to study before returning it. Loss will come, he foresaw, but not until the collapse of the temple. Now, back to sleep.
I hope that's what Lord Vivek needed. Let's talk outside. Thank you for helping me complete my task. Now, I need to return to Vivec City. Have you been there? It's amazing. Ziggurats rising out of the water, the moonlit hanging in the sky above. You should meet me there so I can introduce you to Lord Vivec. Just between us, I understood neither the questions asked nor the answers received. Not that I expected to. Some things aren't meant for mortal minds. That's another reason for you to come to Vivec City, to help me explain what my ancestors said. Excellent. I just need to make a quick stop in Saint-Denis to check on my original traveling companions. When you get to Vivec City, head right to the palace and I'll meet you there. I know that Lord Vivec will want to reward you for assisting me. I'll be along shortly. When you get to Vivec City, head directly for Lord Vivec's palace. Once there, I'll make introductions and we can tell the warrior poet everything we've learned. Of course. As I said, the tribunal consists of our 3 living gods, Vivec, Almalexia, and Sothosil. They lead us in spiritual matters and rule over Dunmer society as god monarchs of the Dark Elves. I serve Vivec, but honor the entire tribunal. Unfortunately, no. The Dunmer houses bow to the tribunal, but the savage Ashlanders refuse to acknowledge their divinity. The heretics never allowed themselves to be assimilated into the great houses. Instead, they hold to primitive superstitions.
All them fancy families in Vardenfell are always talking to the dead. I tell you, it's all smoke and mirrors. Just trying to put on airs to make themselves look better than the rest of us. Well, enough of that. Where can I take you to? We travel to Nisus and Suron, and we know the paths that avoid the worst of the lava flows. Would you care for a ride?
No charge to have a look.
I hear that the House Guard broke up a band of slavers operating on one of the nearby islands. I'm glad for that, but the slavers will probably be back in business before you know it.
rotating here!
Is that for Cherish's water? Poor dear. Her scales are very sensitive, you know.
Who are you looking at?
looms like a giant, our tower of stones. Red Mountain, all rumbles and moans. It tosses and turns, pray it won't wake. And then without warning, the ground starts to shake. As the world ends, the ground starts to shake. So heft the flask and say a prayer, Red Mountain's about to explode. Have a drink, but be aware it's doom the mountain forebodes. Lift a glass and curse the day, Red Mountain's about to burst. Drink all your cares away, who wants to die with a thirst? Die with a thirst. Knock back a fiery flint amidst the smoke and ash. Drain a flask of whiskey, we'll be drunk in a flash. Let's guzzle some jama amidst the fire and fumes. Tip back the jar of liquor, let inebriation bloom. As the world ends, let inebriation bloom. So heft the flask and say a prayer, Red Mountain's about to explode. Have a drink, but be aware it's doom the mountain forebodes. Lift a glass and curse the day, Red Mountain's about to burst. Drink all your cares away, who wants to die with a thirst? Not me, die with a thirst.
You're a ray of sunshine on a gray and dismal day. Come on in and make yourself at home.
direction to choose from.
You have a look about you. Some sort of quality that's rare to find. And trust me, I'm never wrong about these sort of things. Can I interest you in a room at the local inn? Actually, wait, that came out wrong. Look, empty rooms are just bad for business. The upkeep alone costs me more than the place is worth. But I think we can come to a sort of arrangement. And not the sort of arrangement that involves a few drinks. Let me be clear about that. I need someone to improve the reputation of my properties. A hero type who people look up to. And I have a feeling about you. You've done something great and are probably on the way to do something greater. Seems like we can help each other here. Yeah, all right. Details. I can see how this might be a bit sketchy, but don't worry. The inn room is well kept, conveniently located. I know you adventuring types wanting a home in every town. This would be a nice addition to your holdings. No catch. I just need someone to freshen up my image. And my gut tells me you're the one to do that. As long as you're not planning on turning it into a skooma den or an outlaw's refuge, the room is all yours. Oh, sure. You can set up some crafting stations, house your pets, display any treasures or trophies you've come upon in your adventures. Hey, you can even set up a target dummy to practice combat. Just don't demolish the place and we're good. Excellent. You won't regret this decision, I swear. Here's the deed and key to the room. Took me a while, but I finally was able to take them back from the last tenant. Required more time in the sewers than I had hoped for, but hey, that's business. Hope the room is to your liking. With your reputation, I'm sure you shouldn't have any trouble with the neighbors. If you do, remember death threats are not the way to go. Had a spot of trouble when my last tenant started sending those out. Nope, just make yourself at home. Spruce things up a bit. Honestly, I can't wait to see how you arrange the place. Hopefully you'll end up with a few less Daedric shrines than another former tenant of mine. Like 0. 0's a good number. Oh, what a relief. I can't tell you how hard it is to wash bloodstains off of cobble floors. But that's not even the worst of it. I've had tenants cram their rooms with the wildest things. Mounts, foliage, assistants. I mean, it's an inn room. I own this and several other properties throughout Tamriel. It pays to diversify. Of course, that means I've got to look out for a variety of troubles, too. But hey, no one ever said the real estate business was easy.
far, go ye buoyant onagers, glory days and triumphant nights, march on through your bloody fight. Sing proud heathens cause for feet.
Praise Vivek!
This is the person who helped me at the tomb, my lord.
Lord Vivek, we don't need the help of this outlander.
Oh hush, Archcanon Tarvis. Outlanders have their usefulness, and this one intrigues me.
As you say. I'll be in my office if you need me.
Step forward, friend of Levoul, and let us speak. Canon Levoul says you helped him in his mission. As I have written, the one who helps my ally becomes my friend. Despite the Archcanon's concerns, I greet you with sincerity and pose a simple question. Will you assist us further, Outlander? I have ordinators and armigers at my disposal. Vast armies of followers and dedicated priests. What I don't have, however, is a fresh perspective. Will you set aside your personal goals for a time and become the eyes and ears of a god? Good. I need assistance to investigate a strange phenomenon that the Ancestor confirmed may indeed be a problem. We'll start with a simple divination ritual. Archcanon Tarvis can tell you what we need to delve into this mystery. The Daedric Prince. I suppose the same events that concern me might interest Azura, though she could just as easily be the source of these troubles. Red Mountain, strange Daedra, and then there's... well, we'll talk more about that when you return. The situation that troubles me has taken a toll on my Archcanon, but he's a faithful servant. Tarvis will do as I say, and I say we need your assistance. Find the Archcanon in his office, and he'll tell you how to proceed. Levoul's ancestor assured me that a source of power remains safe. As for the rest, let the guess ripen in the mind, and only speak when the fruit grows certain. I require more information on these matters, hence the need for the divination ritual.
Ah, Outlander. Lord Vivec trusts too much to put his faith in one such as you, but who am I to question my god? I suppose he sent you to me so I could put you to work? Did he say which task he wants us to accomplish first? Ah, yes. We do need to perform a ritual to reveal the nature of the phenomenon that vexes Lord Vivec. Now listen closely. I hate to repeat myself. Despite my objections, Vivec believes you were sent to help, so I'll do my best to assist you. Go to the ziggurat that's still under construction and tell the Overseer that Lord Vivec requires the Blessing Stone. Then bring it to me in the palace. You receive a simple errand in the service of Lord Vivec, and countless questions form unbidden in your mind. Very well. Go ahead. Ask your questions. It's not like I'm the busy archcanon of a living god or anything. Offend me? You give yourself too much credit. No, I feel the same about all Outlanders. This is tribunal business, best handled by tribunal resources. However, I also obey my Lord Vivec, so I will tolerate your involvement and do my best to aid you. Lord Vivec sees signs and portents everywhere. It's the poet at his core. I tend to be much more pragmatic. Sometimes a volcano is simply a volcano, and not a harbinger of doom. As for the Daedra, I have no idea. Perhaps the summoning got out of hand.
This project has been nothing but one disaster after another. How am I expected to get this ziggurat built on time when things constantly go wrong? Don't mind me. I'm just having one of those days. Our Blessing Stone? Do you know what happens if we give up our Blessing Stone? Well, neither do I, but I'm sure it won't put us back on schedule or end our string of disasters. I'm not one to disagree with the Archcanon, but that's a terrible idea. Lord Vivec? Why didn't you say so? But I'll need your help before I can turn over the Blessing Stone. The passage that leads to the consecration chamber collapsed, trapping some of my workers. If you can clear the way, you can borrow the stone. I appreciate the help. Just remember that you're only borrowing the stone. It needs to be back in the consecration chamber before the next shift, or we'll never get this ziggurat constructed in time.
Thank you. I'll go tell the Overseer what you did for me.
I thought I was gonna die under there. Oh, thanks for saving me.
It looks like you cleared a path through the debris and rescued my trapped workers. Thanks for that. Feel free to take the Blessing Stone. We'll begin making...
Praise Vivek!
The Outlander returns. I understand there was trouble at the construction site, but you were able to save a few of the workers. Lord Vivek always draws the straightest arrow from the quiver. Praise the Tribunal. Did you bring the Blessing Stone? Stand over there. In Canon Level's absence, you will form the third corner of our ritual triangle. When you're ready, place the Blessing Stone, and we'll begin the ritual. And reveal the source of Lord Vivek's distress. A clockwork mage. A Daedric cultist. Something interfered with the ritual, my lord. But we may have learned something. Excuse me while I compare the results to our previous research.
Between the cryptic warnings of the Ancestor Spirit and the unexpected result of the divination ritual, I fear there may be more astir than I imagined. We solved the greatest mysteries by accident, I suspect. I should write that down. We learn from every action we take. Failure or success, each result teaches us something, at least in the larger sense. To be more specific, no, not as much as I hoped. Images that suggest avenues to investigate, riddles to solve. Let me tell you a secret, Outlander. It concerns a living god and energy that fades like daylight as dusk spreads across the land. Listen well, and speak not a word. My divine energy, it drains away. Whether from illness or foul malady, I know not. You must travel the land and seek answers on my behalf. But first, gratitude before service, as I have written. So thank you. The ritual confirmed my worst fears. Divine energy flows out of me for no reason that I can discern. I felt the power imbued within my blessing stone get wrenched away as soon as you added it to the ritual. I couldn't stop it. To quote my own words as the warrior poet, no lock exists that the determined thief cannot open. Follow the trail of my missing energy, and try to discover the identity of the enemy Levul's ancestor warned us about. Something drains my energy. Find Archcanon Tarvus in his office, and ask if he gleaned anything useful from the ritual. If not, I know his earlier research indicated new avenues to investigate. Go where he tells you. My divine energy diminishes with every passing moment. But yes. While Archcanon Tarvus has always been cautious about ideas and ideologies that didn't originate within the Tribunal. And recently, that prudence has grown 1,000-fold. He's a faithful servant, however, despite his narrow-mindedness. They always chide me about my flagrant displays of divinity. But so far, I am the only one of the living gods whose power is fading. Almalexia hoards her energy and has barricaded her temple against attack. As for Sotha Sil, my brother travels. We have not heard from him for quite some time, but I sense that he remains safe and in possession of his full power. Funny. You always wanted to discover the limits of our divinity. Perhaps I will solve that mystery for him.
I performed that ritual countless times, and it never exploded in my face before. If I discover that you sabotage the divination... No. I shouldn't take my failure out on you. It's not your fault that things are... difficult. How do you know about... Lord Vivec told you? Of course he did. It's his prerogative, I suppose. You must swear to keep this secret, though. There would be panic in the streets if the people believed one of the tribunal was incapacitated. It's true. I'm much better at scholarly pursuits than fieldwork, and the ritual wasn't a total failure. It confirmed 3 locations from my earlier studies: Bolmora, Aldrin, and Barrelzar's Tower. I need you to investigate each of these sites. Haven't you left yet? The sites at Bolmora, Aldrin, and Barrelzar's Tower aren't going to investigate themselves.